into its relations with the US and obviously, of course, with Russia, but China, which Kai Kallas wants to kind of conquer next after she's kind of inflicted a strategic defeat on Russia. The decision to outlaw, to make illegal the imports of gas, from Russia in the teeth of ongoing deindustrialization, in Europe itself, particularly Germany, but not only Germany. I mean, this just is it's almost beyond bizarre. I mean, what do you make of this?
Well, I'm afraid Europe generally, the European Union and European national governments are in a very advanced stage of decay, intellectual, cultural, moral decay. By that I mean that the people who get to power are basically, well, if I call them mediocre, I think that's being polite. And I think that the European system, certainly the Brussels institutions, but also, I repeat, the national ones, they have become systemically decayed. And this is something that strikes me very much. What I mean by that is that they, being decayed in the sense that they don't actually deal with politics. They are profoundly penetrated by ideology. They are obsessed with narrative control. I sometimes say that that's the only thing our governments do these days, is control the narrative. They don't actually operate in the real world, and not operating in the real world, they operate in a make-believe world. And this has the consequence of attracting, because the system itself is in decay, it attracts mediocre or possibly even corrupt people to it. Because only those kinds of mediocre people, only those people with no real concern for their country, only those people with no real intellectual ability to think about the world, no interest in the world ultimately, but just in their own careers and their own self-advancement, those people are drawn into those systems. And indeed, they're the only people who can prosper in those systems. People with intelligence and originality and drive and courage and all the rest of it will not prosper in those systems, because they will be regarded as dissidents and ejected and all the rest of it, and troublemakers and things like that. And so it's a vicious spiral, I think. And we've entered now, as I say, this for some years now, this stage in which the more the system becomes decayed politically, morally, intellectually, and so on, the more it attracts people who are themselves very low caliber, and that, of course, then only accelerates the decline.